Good afternoon, everyone. I will wait a few seconds to allow people to join this live and then I will proceed. And I know many of you are probably like, why does this girl, first of all, where does she come from? Just popping up doing these live videos all the time, all of a sudden. And why does she always look exactly the same? Hi, Shareva. Like I have on the same earrings, the same hoodie, the same hairstyle that I've had for my last two videos for the last 2 days. And it's not that I don't change my clothes. I just like these earrings in this season. And I love this hoodie. It is like my Lion King hoodie. I love you too, Amara, and I've been praying for you. Hi, Chris. I love this hoodie. I've had it for years, and I couldn't fit it when I first got it. I was so small. And now I can fit it, and I love it, and it's the perfect season for it. This lion represents the lion of the tribe of Judah, the King of Kings, the Lion King. So, hey, Pastor Justin. So I titled this video, "What Do You Need?" for a very specific reason. First of all, God is able and willing to meet all of our needs according to his riches and glory. Our Father in heaven is literally rich, like in all things. Like he has, my spiritual sister says it like this: God has old money and new money. He has all the money. And so there's absolutely nothing that you can need that God cannot provide. His name is Jehovah Jireh. He is our provider. And so I've been praying just the last few days about something specific, like something that I wanted to do. And I was like, Lord, make a way, Lord, make a way, Lord, make a way, Lord, make a way. And no, that's not all I was praying, but that was like the point, is that the Lord would make a way for me to do this thing. And so yesterday I was talking to someone about it. I just mentioned it, like, and I was like, I really want to do this, and I really need the Lord to make a way. And they were like, well, what do you need? And I was like, yeah, I need this, but like, okay, for example, I need money, but I don't know how much money I need. So things like that. And so I was kind of stuck. And it's not that when I was praying, I didn't have the expectation that God would hear and answer. That wasn't the case. It was just like I expected God to respond, answer, and manifest what I needed in a different way. And that's not the way that he chose to do it. And so when this person was like, well, what do you need? I was like, yeah, I'll get back to you on that. And so my point is this: there are many of you, many of us, that are trying to accomplish certain things. Let's say you want to go to school. Let's say you want to start a business. Let's say you want to start a TV show or an online show or whatever you want to do. And there are certain things hindering you from doing that because you have a need. So if you want to go to school, if you have a past like me, when I first went to school, the first like 3 years that I tried college, I couldn't do it. It wasn't that I wasn't smart enough for it. It was that I wasn't focused. And so I kept using all of my financial aid up, and then getting kicked off of, like, you can't have any more financial aid, so now I need money. So if you want to go to school, right, and the only thing stopping you from going to school is money, finances, if someone comes up to you and says, well, what do you need to go to school? You need to have an answer. and so, like, the thing is, like, if you have a dream, if you have a need, and you're expecting God to meet that need, which you should always have expectation when it comes to God, but you have to be prepared for however he may answer or respond to your need. If you are homeless, God forbid that any of you watching this is homeless, and someone says, well, what do you need? Oh, I need a 2-bedroom apartment in a certain neighborhood because my children have to go to a certain school. Like, you need to have an answer, because the thing is that some of you need $20,000 to start your business. It is not impossible for God to send someone to you to give you the $20,000. But if you have not sat down and went through what it's going to cost you to start your business, you won't have an answer when someone is ready to meet the need. And what if they're like, well, what do you want me to do? I was going to help you, but you don't even know what you need, so I can't help you. Like, you need to know what you need, and you need to have an answer prepared. For example, God is a God of supernatural debt cancellation, right? He is willing to, when certain things are in place. Like, so when you can't be irresponsible with your finances and then expect God to cancel your debt. Like, that's stupid. That doesn't even make sense. So let's say you're doing all the right things and you're praying, Lord, cancel this debt. I really want to move forward in my life. and I can't be in debt doing it. Lord, I'm never going to catch up on this debt like in a natural sense. So I really need a supernatural move from you, right? I say that's the case. So you're having a conversation with this random stranger in Walmart, and you just start talking about your life and things you want to do, and they're feeling it, and they have the means necessary to meet your need. And so they're like, well, how much is your debt? What do you need? And you're like, it's about $30,000. But what if it's $38,000 and this person gives you $30,000? Now you still have $800,000 of debt, and then you're gonna say that God didn't do what He said He would do, but no, it was you because you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared for what is to come. You have to assess your life and know where you are, so that when God sends someone your way to help you, you are equipped and prepared to receive the help. Because when I tell you, last night when I was speaking to this person, they're like, yeah, I want to do this, and I've been praying about it. They're like, well, what do you need? And I'm just like, oh my God, I never thought about exactly what I needed. And so now I feel like I look stupid. Granted, this person is really close to me, so I didn't look stupid. But like, imagine if that was something on a larger scale. So that's why the Lord allowed me to experience that in that way, to be able to share it with you all, so that we all can be prepared. Period. I really want this job. Not me. This is another example. I really want this job. It's like my dream job. However, I need a babysitter. Well, what do you need? I need a babysitter Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I also need that babysitter to be able to get to my children on their own on time. I need them to be at this location at this time, and I need them to be able to stay at that location until this time every day without question. Like, you know, if you need a vacation, we can arrange that. But you have to know what you need. And if you don't know, you just like, yeah, I don't know, and you miss your opportunity to receive. So I just wanted to share that with you all, because even though at that moment that I could not really answer that question, thank God it was a smaller thing. It was a smaller thing, and so I was like, you know, it's not too bad. I don't look too ridiculous. But I thank God for that experience, because now I'm able to share it with you all, and you all can think. Like, I'm blaming people for the situation I'm in, and I'm saying, you know, I don't deserve this. Well, what do you need to get out of that? Or, oh, no one helps me, no one's on my side, no one's for me. Okay, well, what do you need to change that? I want to go to school. What do you need to change that? What exactly in your life do you need to change the very situation that you're in that will change your life forever? What is it that you need? So therefore, this requires that we sit down, take time, stop complaining, stop mumbling, stop whining, stop saying, woe is me. We sit down and assess our lives and where we are, where we want to go, and what we need to get there. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter how big or small it is. You might just want to go on a vacation and need $1,000 to make sure your rent is paid. You might want to purchase a car. You need $5,000 for a down payment and $1,000 to start your insurance policy. You need to know what it is. Because I'm telling you, God can and He will do it for you. Because the Bible says that if you ask anything in His name, He'll do it. As long as it's according to His will, He'll do it. You can't ask God to give you a strategy to murder someone. That's not going to work. But if you ask God for something according to His will, in His name, He'll give it to you. And if you're not prepared to receive it, then whose fault is it? Yours or God? Because God is never wrong, right? God doesn't lie. He can't lie. He's not the son of man that He can lie. He cannot lie. If God said it, even if it was a lie, once God says it, it becomes truth. Period. The sky is blue right now, right? I look up there, it's blue, it looks a little white. But if God says in 5 minutes the sky is red, then this is the new red, because God said it. Okay? So, figure out what you need to get done, what you need to get done, or to get where you need to be. Write it down and have it available. You need to know what your debt is, pretty much to the penny, as close as possible. Because if someone comes along your way, like me, I have an undergrad degree, so I have like $20,000+ in student loan debt. I need to know what that is to the penny, so that when God sends that supernatural move in a human being that says, how much is your debt, princess? I really like you. I really want you to succeed. I want to pay off your debt. How much is it? I'm not just saying, oh, it's about $20,000. Well, that's what I'm going to give you. Here goes your $20,000, and my debt is really like $32,000. Who knows? So I need to sit down, and I need to have these figures readily available to be able to answer that question. Period. Like, that's just that. That's just that. Like, my mother-in-law and one of my spiritual sisters, we talk about things like this. Like, God can do the total impossible. Everything he does is just awesome, literally. And so, but you need to be able to say what it is that you need, period. Because you don't know when God is going to send that person. You can be walking in Walmart just a regular day and end up having a conversation with a stranger, and they're ready to meet all your physical, not inappropriate physical needs, but they're ready to meet your physical needs. They're ready to buy you your groceries. They're ready to pay your grocery bill at Walmart. They're ready to pay the rest of whatever you owe on your car. They're ready to pay off your debt, and you don't have a clue what your debt is. And then but you can't say that God didn't show up. So I just wanted to share that with you all. So prepare yourself. Sit down. Assess your life, where you're at, where you would like to be, and what's in between that gap. What is it that you need to get from point A to point B? That's it. I love you all. I hope that you have a super duper great, blessed day, and I will talk to you all later. I hope that you have peace, love, and joy in your life. Totally. Period. All right. Have a great day. Bye.